There's rifts. Share the screen.
Let's bring up the segment.
That's what I'm doing right there. Bam. Oh, yep. Oh, I have a segment. You before you do that.
Oh, what? I already did it. Oh, look at that.
Made a little thing. Look at that. I'm already prepared. Okay,
Rich
now
Japan, beautiful.
All right, and here's the book, and I have not looked at a single page of this book because I'm a bad host. So Heathen Dog is going to educate us.
All right, here the deal with Rift's Japan. It is an exciting book because it is so different than all of the other books that we've gone over before, especially the core book. In the core book, we have humans gripping onto technology as an answer to all of the supernatural horror in the world. Technology is your answer.
Isn't Japan, or was it China, that's like so different than the rest of the Rifts universe, world, whatever?
Hang on. I'm getting there. And then we have, the New West. We had Quebec. All of them have one thing in common. All of them have embraced technology as a defense against the supernatural horror. Well, East Asia went the other way. And there's an argument for Rifts England as well. I haven't gone over that yet, so I'm not going to spoil it. But East Asia went the other way.
Okay.
China, Japan, Taiwan, they are, well, the problem with China, Taiwan, and Korea is that they are overrun with supernatural demons. Just the humans don't stand a chance. But in Japan, in Japan, the old ways were not. The kanji on the thing makes no sense. Oh, come on. Of course, you're only seeing part of that. It makes no sense because it's literally a sentence fragment. Come on, benefit of the doubt, people. Benefit of the doubt. The whole picture was like probably American people suck. That's probably what it says. Who knows? Not me. Not you either, because you can't see the whole thing. I know my language.
Yeah.
Well, we actually in the decades ago we had a game show that was very, very similar to the example you just gave. Where, in how many notes can you name that tune? Nobody can name that tune in 2 notes. All right, so you don't know what this entire thing says. So stop judging it, Judgy McJudgerson. Anyway, what I was getting at is they have it. They didn't completely lose their ties to what they called the old ways, the traditional ways of Japan. So when the rifts came and all of these traditional ways now had power again, that plus the emergence of a Millennium Tree, which I'm going to talk about in Kyoto, had everyone, all the survivors, gravitate toward magic as a solution to demons.
Uh-oh, are we going to have exotic, mystical Japan? All those little phrases that we're not allowed to say anymore?
Yeah.
Sweet. I love this book already.
Gonna be great. So let's dig into it. We're going to start at page 12.
Right. It's probably 14. Oh, wait.
Okay, the largest human empire in Japan is called the New Empire. The New Empire of Japan. It is based in Kyoto.
Okay.
All right. Now Tokyo just fell off, just sank into the sea. It pulled to California. Oh my God. I'm going to ban her again. I say it perfectly with an American accent.
This is what I have to live with every day, so I get to just laugh.
Your head, woman. I pronounce Japanese words perfectly. You just can't understand through my American accent. Stop being racist.
Hey, well, Asians are now white people. They're not part of the whole aggrieved culture. They're not allowed to be anymore.
Asians are not white people. Stop it.
I'm just saying that's
racist.
That's the way the SJWs look at it now.
Then they're racist too. All right, so with Tokyo being off the map, Kyoto was actually saved because when the rifts came, a Millennium Tree sprouted. And one of the powers of a Millennium Tree that I'm going to get into is it calms rift activity within a certain geographical area around it.
Can't we breed those
the
things?
people in and around Kyoto were actually saved the worst of the cataclysm. So most of the people there lived. And then as the Millennium Tree grew very, very quickly, everyone discovered that the tree is sentient and actually wants to protect good people, no matter who they are. And the humans were in dire straits. It took pity on the humans and started protecting them. So society held on in a fashion around Kyoto. So it, as people became more and more versed in the ancient ways, and magic was able to be used again as it was in the past, the ancient ways worked, so they adopted them, and the new empire grew from Kyoto outward. And the next page is a map. Go and check out the map. There you go.
Little Honshu.
You like that?
Little Honshu.
And then there's regular Honshu. But you see that spot.
You know what's missing? Okinawa's missing. I guess my wife
It was
isn't
an
Japanese.
island. It's gone, just like a lot of other islands. You hear that? You hear that, Noro? Your birthplace is dead. Anyway, that little spot, the underwater ruins of Tokyo, right there. Yeah, there it is. Yep, that's where Tokyo was. It pulled to California and just slipped right off. Bye-bye. That's right. And it happens. Well, only in apocalypses, but it happens. But the thing that came back is they didn't just readopt the ancient ways to protect themselves. Prayers done correctly with the proper ceremony now actually function to create barriers and wards and whatnot. And old fighting techniques, skin hardening, body hardening, chi block, stuff like that, actually function the way they're supposed to. Yeah, come try it. But they also, because all these things work, they also regressed socially back to the caste system. And if you move down to the next page, we can see a brief
just officially speaking
of the caste system, starting with the emperor and going down to the Edda. What?
My wife isn't yellow; she's orange. Just to be clear.
Oh, so she's part Japanese, part Trump. Holidays must be hard. All right,
fair enough. Let's go on.
Anyway, we start off with the emperor, and then under them the imperial court. Then under that is the shogun, which is the grand general of the armies and military action, stuff like that. Just a commander of all military forces, theoretically taking cues from the emperor. And then underneath that is daimyo. Daimyo. I hate that word. It just sounds so stupid.
Look. One of the problems that I have speaking Japanese, and that usually stops me from continuing to speak it when my wife, pressures me into learning it more, is it sounds like baby talk to me.
It really does.
I now know why Japanese men all talk like, hey. It's the only way they can sound tough.
They're trying to man it up, but it's hard, Yeah, it's like you're trying to dress up a rattle to make it an adult accessory. Have fun. And then under that, the samurai, then peasants, and then the Edda. Now, it doesn't specifically give Ronin in here, but it says it in one of these paragraphs. Oh yeah, by the way, Ronin are actually underneath peasants, but above Edda, but not by a whole lot. And in the new empire, peasants, for the most part, are treated with respect. Mostly because the emperor, and I believe it's a second or third generation emperor now in the broken chain.
Mm-hmm.
But started off the idea that no, peasants, they are lowly, yes, but they are to be respected, because without them, the foundation of our society would crumble and fall.
Human peasants.
Yeah. So peasants are low. They do the farming thing. They do merchant thing. They do all the things that are not considered noble pursuits, but their pursuits are necessary for any nobility to exist at all. Edo, on the other hand, no, fuck them. No. just like in the old days. I mean, if you butcher animals, dig graves, handle the dead, you are just scum. Just scum. Yes, peasants are merchants too. Yes. They are considered part of the peasant class. You can see at the bottom of the page right here, merchants, part of the peasant class, just like I said. But yeah. Monks and priests. Now, a peasant, just on a side, a peasant has ways to raise themselves out of the peasant class. Not by a lot, but some. You can be a monk or a priest or a doctor. Doctors, they live almost outside of the caste system because they are necessary in all walks of life. So they are allowed everywhere. Merchants are necessary to move goods and stuff across, whatever. So they're still considered peasants, but they're higher level peasants. But monks and priests, a lot of them come from the peasant class because it elevates a peasant to a monk or a priest, which is considered higher than a peasant. So those are really the three ways a peasant can, raise themselves up out of the caste system in their society without leaving society.
All right, two things.
Pretty much it.
One, you just sold a book.
I did?
Yeah. Noro says she's gonna have to read it.
Oh, great.
So that's awesome. Let's see if there's a Japanese version for
her. There might be.
And then I don't know why, but we lost like half our viewers.
Apparently they don't like my pronunciation either. Listen, like I said, perfect pronunciation with an American accent.
Does Japan still have a caste mentality right now in the real world?
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, not officially.
Not officially, and not as prevalent as it was, say, in 1950. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, compared to America, yes. My wife gives me that crap.
No.
Right. My wife gives me that crap all the time. I'm from this kind of family. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. I don't care. Anyway, it goes off to talk about their industry and technology, which is basically nothing. They're an agrarian-based society. They do not do technology. I don't even think they have steam. Anything.
So this is really Japan before the Meiji period.
Yes.
Like they've not just gone with Bushido like some like to do in order to exemplify, the old culture. They've gone to the complete agrarian. Wow. Okay.
Yep. That's why the emperor thought it was so important to make sure everyone from top down respected the peasants, because that is going to be the most important class for the survivability of the new empire. Since they are agrarian based, you need the farmers to be maybe not happy, but accepting of their lot in life. Feudal Japan. Yes, it's very much feudal Japan. And and then if we go to page 16, you can see the zone. This is the demon infested part of Japan, which is the large chunk of Japan. I mean, a lot of this is on an inhospitable mountain crap that humans couldn't live on anyway, but demons have no problem because they don't need to eat, they don't need to sleep, they just exist. They can exist anywhere, and they exist there, and it goes right up against the empire, which is in basically the middle. See all those the new empire's in the middle. See where all the
tree area.
Yeah, all the trees are. Yeah,
mountains, tree, whatever that's supposed to be. Yeah. So there's the Republic versus the Empire.
Well, I'm going to get to the Republic now. It's not really Republic versus Empire. It's everyone against the demons.
Okay.
It's just that the Empire happens to be in between the demons and the Republic of Japan, which, sucks for the Empire. But that's the way it is. I mean, they've been fighting the demons for 200 years using the old ways, and the old ways work because they're not dead. So there you go.
What separates the two? What's the conflict between the two then?
The Republic of Japan is a very, very special case, and we're going to have to go to page 70 to look at that.
If that's on your docket to talk about, I can wait.
No. Right after the new empire is the Republic of Japan. Now, again, super, super special case. There you go. the Republic of Japan are actually. And have you ever played Fallout 4?
No, I did not play Fallout 4 yet.
Do you know anything about Fallout 4?
I know that it's a horrible MMO type game when they made it Fallout 76. Other than that, no.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Okay.
All right, but the whole premise is that when the bombs went off, you went to a vault and they cryogenically froze you, and you woke up 210 years later. That's what happened to what is going to become the Republic of Japan. Hiroshima and 100 kilometers surrounding it got popped into a pocket dimension. Now, how'd that happen?
Some residual radiation left over,
Well, that didn't hurt. That
Okay.
did not hurt because the ley lines were still a little bit charged from all of the death that was there. But they were actually experimenting with a pseudo teleportation technology. The night that the apocalypse happened. What they were doing was they were trying to teleport a vase from one stand to another 10 feet away. Nice little field test, right? 10 feet, not a big thing. This isn't Star Trek. We'll start small. Well, the moment they flipped that switch is the moment the apocalypse happened. So the combination of all the increased magic that came flowing into the land and their dimensional warp teleportation technology kind of came together and had a little party called Suck You Into a Pocket Dimension. Now, they existed in this pocket dimension for 3 days. 3 days and 3 nights. No stars, no nothing, just black. But surprisingly, there weren't a whole lot of suicides. There wasn't a whole lot of panic. They were all very calm.
This is Japan. Are you sure?
They're all very calm, very collected. They were like, hey, we don't know what's going on. No one's being hurt by this. We're trying to figure it out. And most of the people were like, okay, all right. Nothing we do about it anyway. There you go.
There's a bunch of questions and comments about the apocalypse.
Apocalypse makes me think of a Log Horizon anime I've been rewatching. Well, number one, Log Horizon, excellent anime. I'm glad you're rewatching it. Number two, the apocalypse is the resurgence of magic on Earth. And it was so fast and so great that it actually almost broke the world in pieces. So the Great Apocalypse was, 9.9 Richter scale earthquakes, tsunamis, typhoons, hurricanes, tornadoes, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together, the whole thing. Now, after 3 days, they figured out how to turn off the teleportation experiment safely. They did, and then they popped back into existence right where they were before. Only now it's over 200 years later.
So what happened to the things and people that were there when they popped in?
Oh, they're gone. They're dead. Oh. But to be fair, there wasn't anything you'd call a big society there. There's a couple of towns, of villages, few dozen people per village.
If you happen to be one of those few dozen, though.
Well, now there are theories, either they're dead or they're now, they took the place of Hiroshima in the pocket dimension, which still exists, still being fed magic by the world. Flip a coin. We don't know. No idea.
It's better not to think about things like that.
It's better not to think about things like that. But to be fair, if you're doing it by the numbers, that's, maybe a couple of hundred people got killed or displaced. So 16 million people can come back, because that's how many people were stuck in that dimensional anomaly. 16 million. And they came back with all of the technology from the height of the golden age of humanity.
Huh.
So none of this rediscovering technology crap, relearning how to make a wheel. No, man, we got wheels. It's all here.
Is that the same as Chaos Earth?
Yeah, they have the same technological level as Chaos Earth in the beginning. Yes. Which is much better than current Rift's technology. They are space age technology, pre-warp, like pre-FTL technology is where the Republic of Japan is currently located on your scale.
Gotcha.
Like if this were Star Trek universe, they'd have people here watching, if not for the cataclysm. Anyway, so once they came back to the world, a lot of them were like, oh my God, we're back. The stars, they're back, and they're the same stars. 200 years doesn't change stars. So, oh wow, this is great. We're back home. And then they went outside, and then they were immediately murdered by demons. And they're like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the shit?
Surprise!
Yeah, and so they had to hastily make defensive structures because obviously the original city did not have any kind of defensive walls because they weren't necessary, right? I mean, whatever. So they had a lot of, I think like 300,000 people died in the first couple of weeks just because they didn't know what the hell was going on or how to defend against it.
Even though they had all that technology?
Well, yeah, their technology worked great, but they didn't understand how magic worked. So they couldn't defend against the more insidious crap.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. And then people came like, what the hell is this? Aunt Marge was here, or the Japanese equivalent of Marge, lived here. What's going on now? It's like, oh, we live here now. Who are you? Who the hell are you? And then they started talking with the villagers that weren't dead. And started to figure out what was going on, what was happening. And they started to learn about magic. And they were like, you know what? This is cool, but we have this super high-tech stuff that we're going to use to defend ourselves. But knowing about magic is necessary to defend against the mind control nonsense and possession and all that crap. So thank you a whole lot. It's awesome. It's cool. And they like I said, 100 kilometers around Hiroshima, which also encompassed Ichito province, I think. Ichito city, maybe? I don't know. And a couple of big manufacturers, Armatech, H-Brand, big, huge military manufacturers. So they had the ability to create all these kinds of, military mechs and SAMUS type stuff, all that crap. They had it turnkey at the ready, and that's what they did. And they ended up saving most of the people there and established themselves as a nation just as strong as the new empire.
Gundams?
Now, the Republic of Japan and the new empire do not get along. Obviously, they have radically different views. Gundams, not quite that big, but giant piloted robots, sure. I mean, if you want, we can get into the tech later. But anyway, well, the Republic of Japan and the new empire don't get along. They have fundamentally different views on how to exist in this world.
What's like the number one or number two things that they disagree on?
Well, technology. I mean, the empire believes that technology brought humanity away from the way they were supposed to live. And the return to the old ways is what's actually saving the Japanese people from extinction.
Is there actual truth to that, or is that just the whole causation doesn't mean correlation?
There's some. I mean, it's kind of like over drama type thing, but the real reason that there isn't just a handful of Japanese people left in the world, just like there's not a whole lot of Chinese people left in the world, is because of the Millennium Tree.
Okay.
The Millennium Tree really is the thing that protected them, allowed them to get their crap in order. But they are right. The old ways work. The old spells and rituals and incantations are functional in this new world, and they are a great defense against the demons. Again, but the Republic of Japan is like, sure, but you know what also works? Force fields and guns. Would work great too. You want to see? Look, that one's dead. It tried to hit me, but it couldn't hit me because I have force fields. Well, they don't really have forts, but they have barriers and such that based on super high technology, golden age humanity technology that works really well. Like, no, they don't have lightsabers, which is sad, but apparently that's all FTL stuff. You gotta be faster than light. And Max just flipped off his wife. That's great.
She brought me my clothes, not folded, not brought upstairs, just jammed in a basket. Like I'm supposed to take care of my own clothes. Oh, now it's on the floor.
All right. So they don't really get along. I mean, they're not enemies. They both realize that, hey, we are all Japanese here. All right, we're all Japanese. We're all the same people. We're going to have to agree to disagree because we have an actual threat against both of us. Demons don't care if you're from the Empire or from the Republic. They don't care. You're human. You're lunch.
Or not even human. You're there.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fair enough. You're not demon, so you're lunch. It's basically
what page is the Empire on? So I can show this a different chapter heading.
We did the Empire. It's page 10.
Oh, wow. The Empire was that long.
Well, okay. No. Like I said, it had to explain the Millennium Tree.
I gotcha. I just want to make sure we're not staying on the same page for too long.
No, I understand. But yeah, we can actually go back to the Millennium Tree. That's going to be page 28. Now, this is the reason why the Empire lasted long enough to get their crap together. The Kyoto Millennium Tree. Now,
this art is from 1995.
What's that?
This art is from 1995, so you have to take into account printers and so forth from that day.
Now, the Millennium Tree was introduced in Riffs, England, I believe. There's also one in Wormwood, and there's another one in South America, but I'm pretty sure England was first. Either England or Wormwood was first. Now, the Millennium Tree is a mega damage structure. It is a magical tree, and it grows extremely quickly and lives for a very long time. Is this book from 1995?
It is. The PDF's 2015. The book is 1995.
Yep. 1995, Palladium Books. First printing in October 95. Because that's my book. Anyway, so the Millennium Tree, ancient tree, well, ancient type tree. This one, not so much, but it grows really fast, especially in a magical rich environment, which Rifts is one of the most magical rich environments you can find.
Never heard of magic a single time ever in Rifts.
It grew very, very quickly. It is also sentient to a degree. It can tell good and evil, and it can tell who needs protecting and who doesn't. And humanity at the time of its growth needed protecting. And the Millennium Tree will protect itself and the people it decides to harbor very, very well. Some of the powers of the Millennium Tree, which you're already getting to. It's a mega damage structure. It's impervious to diseases and chemical attacks. It's vulnerable to mega damage attacks, including explosive railguns and most high-tech and brute strength. If you have supernatural strength, you can harm Millennium Tree, but I don't recommend it because if you break off a stick, twig, branch, or do enough damage to the trunk of a Millennium Tree, it will cause an explosion. A mega damage explosion centered on you.
Not on the broken area?
It's a really great self-defense mechanism. If you hurt it, it will blow you up. So, yay. Protected by its inhabitants and friends. It's a symbiotic thing at this point. I mean, everyone in Kyoto understands that the Millennium Tree is to be protected because it protects us. So they get it. Devastating leyline storm erupts. The tree's under attack. And the PPE area explosion when even a leaf is cut or a twig broken. Those are its self-defense mechanisms. If you attack it, it can summon a ley line storm at your location. If you actually break some of it off, there will be an explosion centered on you.
There is no power creep whatsoever in Rifts.
Well, no one can force a Millennium Tree to do anything. All right. It is an incorruptible, basically unkillable NPC character.
Let's be fair. It's a DB. It needs to be killed.
Nice. But if you are in the good graces of a Millennium Tree, these are the protections that you have. The Millennium Tree will calm any leyline storm within something like 30 kilometers.
Control over normal weather, control over ley lines, storms and rifts. Let's say up here.
Yeah, it doesn't give. I can't find the exact numbers, but a certain radius around the tree, it will create favorable weather. It will stop leyline storms. It can actually hide people underneath its canopy, create invisibility, stuff like that. You can't find them. No scrying, invisible. No sound, no nothing. Can hide everyone underneath its tree, and it grows so big that its canopy is, quite encompassing. But if you move on to this is the page right here. Now, the tree can give of itself to give people, especially people who want to protect it, its powers. Like it gives some bark to create a bark shield. It is a mega damage shield that absorbs damage and actually regenerates itself because it's still alive, even though it's still connected to the tree, even though it's physically apart. So it doesn't die. It keeps growing. And it keeps healing itself. A leaf can, when the tree gives you a leaf, it can imbue it with certain abilities. Armor, healing magic. Yep, healing or armor. It can teleport any number of people, vehicles, and equipment to any point along any ley line it's touching. Like, the hell? And the tree itself can magically and instantly heal the sick and injured up to 50 SDC and 50 hit points for mega damage creatures every few minutes. As many as 100 people can be healed in a single instant, but such mass healing is uncommon. The tree also cures sickness and disease, physical pain, burns, and discomfort are reduced by half, even when under the shade of a tree or embraced in one of its branches. Plus, normal healing is increased by twofold. Characters in a coma are plus 30% to come out of it. The tree cannot eliminate insanity or addiction, although a period of treatment weeks while under the tree will add plus 10% to the success of any recovery for these. So now you can really, really start to see why being near this tree when the whole world is coming down around you is a really good idea. As long as you and the tree are copacetic, everything's fine. And of course, with the sixth sense warning, any of its protectors or inhabitants can be warned of danger coming, what direction and what kind of danger that is from the tree itself, because the tree's roots and canopy are massive. It can actually see for dozens of kilometers around. So it can see trouble coming much sooner than anyone else could. And it can impart that information if it believes that this danger is high enough to all of its people underneath its canopy. And of course, we go to other actual magic items that the tree can give. Millennium wands and millennium staves. These are branches and twigs that the tree has given to protectors of itself or protectors of other good people as weapons to fight evil with. That's basically it. I mean, Millennium wands have powers. Millennium staves have powers as well. Wand of the animal, wand of deception, wand of divination, wand of dowsing, wand of knowledge, wand of life, wand of power, wand of seeing. All of them, depending on the need, the tree will create a magic item to fulfill that need to help everyone, all people, all good people everywhere. And then the staves are usually violent in nature, like to defend the tree and the people under the tree from attack, or defend all good people, stuff like that. Some of them are different, like the Staff of Purity and the Staff of Prosperity on page 36. This long, slender rod of golden color covered in coiling vine and leaves. The staff possesses the usual features, plus the following. Constant powers granted the owner the ability to identify fruits and plants, accurately identify ingredients in foods by taste, as well as give you a save versus poison. The magic powers of this powerful rod are different than most. When stuck in the ground, it transforms the surrounding land into rich, fertile soil. This area is enchanted land and never suffers from blight, disease, or minor frost. Even invasions by locusts, major insect infestations, or severe frost never destroy more than 25% of the crop. So, if the people that are around the Millennium Tree are good and they are under the tree's protection and they're beginning to starve because their crops aren't doing well, the tree will give them a staff of prosperity. And the longer that staff is in that field, the wider the radius of its prosperity grows.
So how do we cultivate more of these trees?
They haven't figured out how to do that yet. I think in Wormwood in England, they figured out how to grow Millennium trees, but not in Japan.
It's because they're DBs.
There you go. Staff of Purity. Powers granted the owner are abilities to purify water and swim like a fish. Its magic powers are similar to Staff Prosperity, only this affects water. When thrown into a well of water or buried under rocks in a spring or small stream, the water never becomes polluted regardless of the type of amounts of pollutants, and stays free of future pollution, poison, and disease. Moreover, the enchanted water cannot be affected by magic such as curses, spoil turn water to wine, unless the water is removed from the well first. The water always tastes cool, fresh, and delicious. So, like I said, the tree is looking after the people because the people look after the tree in return. Some of them are for attack, but others are for healing and the enhancement of the populace that lives under its protection. And there are corrupted staves and wands. Staves and wands that were taken by hook or by crook, by people who they were given to from the tree and then tested on, experimented on, and they call it corrupted. Doesn't mean they're evil. It just means that the powers that they had were stripped and new powers were put in their place. Because
are bio-wizards kind of the same as techno-wizards? Like the Japan equivalent?
Bio-wizard is the same as techno-wizard, except instead of technology and magic hybrid, it is a fusion of flesh and magic.
But it's kind of the synonymous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same concept, different vehicle. All right, and then of course we get into enchanted weapons. These are weapons that wizards and techno wizards made for themselves using the examples of ancient weapons, just imbuing them with magic. I mean, it's like I said, like he said, it's the same thing as a techno wizard imbuing a gun to become a magical flamethrower. They're imbuing a fire-breathing arquebus or magic powder grenades, nunchucks, swords, bows, lots of swords. Swords are big time, especially one of the side effects of the coming of the rifts was that truly ancient swords that were forged in Japan were magic and became magic again. They became greater and greatest rune swords, which is what you're looking at right now.
The ghostly katana of soul slaying. Wow.
Yeah.
You give that to first level characters?
No, not first level characters. Only 4 of these swords are known to exist.
And all 4 are in my back.
There you go. Now it's called ghostly because its blade, when wielded in combat, becomes translucent and ephemeral, cutting through all non-magical armor like it wasn't there, striking the person inside. And it's doing, like, obviously, soul stealing. It's called soul stealing. So what do you think it does?
The Brandon Sanderson books. It's like, oh God, I forget the name of those weapons. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, it's again, it sounds scary, but it's really used to fight ghosts and evil supernatural entities that can take incorporeal form.
And if there's one thing I can tell you about Japanese people, they believe in that.
Oh yeah, no, ghosts are no joke in Japan. I mean, I think the only worst ghost in the world are Jewish ghosts, because those things are rough too.
Crafty's got a couple of comments. If I remember right, the grown Millennium trees have some. It's moving. Some of the magical properties of the parent trees, but they're SDC structures. And the Eastern Territories has a lot of material about Millennium trees. You have the Eastern Territories book?
No.
Okay. And my wife randomly said, I'm watching Sword Guy on Netflix.
Thanks for letting us know. All right. Now that's basically the lay of the land of Japan right now. I mean,
Okay.
there are other kingdoms, but they are not anywhere near as powerful or important as the New Empire or the Republic of Japan.
Sounds good.
Right. Basically it. Now, with the resurgence of the old ways, is also the new OCCs. Well, new old OCCs. The traditional samurai warrior who follows the Bushido way and the way of the sword and all that cool stuff.
Is this the equivalent of Cyber Knight?
No.
Okay.
They are not.
Is Sword Guy a good series?
44, there you got it right there. The Bushido code and then powers of the living samurai sword. Samurai swords, the ancient way to create them properly is now done again, so they can now create swords that are actually rune weapons as well. They have an independent personality. They have a telepathic link to their samurai warrior. They're nearly indestructible, and they each have the basic abilities of a rune weapon. It does mega damage to supernatural mega damage creatures. It does normal SDC damage to normal SDC creatures, stuff like that. But
I don't want my weapon talking to me. Oh, okay, Noro, here's some more kanji for you.
There you go. More nonsense.
More chicken scratch, as I like to call it.
It probably says the white devil is here. Probably. All right, now special training and mastery of the samurai. They must be schooled in archery, horsemanship, and the sword. That's baseline. You got to have those three things. And then, of course, the samurai also believe that the non-combat things are just as important as combat, because being able to make tea correctly, being able to cook food correctly, being able to dance and appreciate art.
Well, it's all about the social structure.
It is that too, but they believe that the art of defense is only there to protect all of the actual important things, which is the daily life. So they learn how to do both. They learn how to fight, and they learn how to live. The way they learn how to live is, proper ceremonies for everything, appreciating art, appreciating what the other people in the caste system do, stuff like that. And they're called family skills. You've already gotten to that.
I'm scrolling through slowly, letting people kind of see what's on there, and then scrolling down a little bit.
Right. And of course, after that is the Ronin, the Masterless Samurai. When your master is slain, you become a dog, basically. You're
already a dog, but you're a dog without a leader, so now you're
just a stray dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you to eat, you have to become a mercenary. I mean, you got to make money. Okay, and then there's the ninja,
the
mystic ninja. All of the cool, ninja stuff you hear about in fables. Well, that all works now.
Mystic.
All that becoming invisible and blending the background and being able to stop your heart or breathing for a period of time, walking on rice paper, that crap.
So here's a question about that then. How well does this fit in with ninjas and super spies?
Actually,
obviously,
I'm glad you said that. I was going to bring it up later, but I'm glad you said that now. They took a lot of the powers from ninja and super spies and converted them for riffs and used them and actually reprinted them in this book in MDC form.
Can you? So you don't need the conversion book or anything to
No.
bring over. Okay.
Just like what they did for the Millennium Tree, which was originally posted in Riffs England, they reposted all of the pertinent information for ninjas and super spies in this book as well. So you don't need the ninjas and super spies book to use, body hardening techniques or chi blocking or whatever, because it's reprinted in this book for you.
Cool.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to it yet, but it's here.
All 70 some styles of martial arts.
Yep, there you go. Then there's the Fighting Monk. And the Fighting Monk is on page 55. There you go. And he's got the special training. Mega damage skin. This is from Ninjas and Super Spies. They didn't give mega damage, obviously. It gave more SDC. But it is an ancient magical technique, and now it works. So it gives mega damage skin. You use chi to which is now for this instance of riffs, they use PPE instead. Character has natural armor rating of 18, as at least 100 SDC. The cost of 1 point of PPE for 2 minutes, you get mega damage skin, which is all of your SDC and hit points are added together, and that becomes your mega damage.
That's crazy.
For the next 2 minutes. But you can without using an action, you can freely extend it with 1 more PPE until you run out of PPE or until you're done. And then you get the death blow. It's a chi attack. Psionics. You get certain psionic powers.
You're not going to run out of
stuff.
You're not going to run out of ISP. Not if you only have to spend
4 times 10 is not a lot.
If you only have to spend 1 per round?
No, that's PPE. That's PPE.
Oh.
Yeah, the Fighting Monk gets
2 PE times 2, so probably
times 2.
You're gonna probably have a decent physical endurance, so we'll just say 20.
Times 2 is
so
40.
40 plus 2d6 per level.
Right.
It'll last a while.
It'll be a while, yeah. And of course, the mystic martial arts powers. The warrior monk develops supernatural abilities as a result of his martial arts training. 1 additional body hardening exercise / power can be selected at levels 4 and 10. The mystic art of invisibility can be selected at level 3, and the Zenjoriki power at level 14. I probably did screw that one up. So there
on
you
the
go.
screen.
Describe for a moment what happens when you hit a regular fleshy human with mega damage and why MDC is so important. Okay. In riffs, just like in any other previous Palladium product, there are hit points and SDC, structural damage capacity. The idea behind this was that I could punch in the face as hard as I possibly can a 25-year-old Mike Tyson, and it will seem to do nothing. I doubt his head would even move. I would more than likely fracture a knuckle.
Or 4.
Or 4, yeah. Why is that? Because he has trained his body and he has much more SDC than I have. He has much more SSDC than the average person could possibly hope to have. All damage that isn't critical, as in like a natural 20 or, some kind of chi strike or whatever, goes to SDC first before it gets to hit points. SDC is inconsequential damage, minor bruising, minor cuts, abrasions, scratches, stuff like that. It's not actually harming you. But when all your SDC is gone, then you go into hit points. Hit points are actually life-threatening injuries. These are gashes that won't close, broken bones, ruptured organs. This is important shit that you do not want to happen to you. But you have to have the SDC all the way gone most of the time. You have to have SDC all the way gone before you start getting into this actual dangerous damage. Now, mega damage doesn't care about that. Mega damage is so much stronger, 100 times stronger than regular SDC damage. Mega damage capacity is 100 times stronger than normal standard damage capacity. So much so that a mega damage weapon against a regular damage structure The mega damage weapon just destroys the structure within reason.
And so, what does it do to a fleshy person?
A fleshy person is a standard damage structure and is just killed. With any amount of mega damage, you just die. Now, how you die depends on the source of the mega damage. If it's a plasma flamethrower, you burn to a cinder. You're done. There's not even any bones of you left. You're just done. If you're shot with a laser gun, the laser pierces your body completely and then quickly, like a lightsaber, just burns everything around it.
A lot of the damage from even a normal bullet nowadays isn't the actual bullet going through you. It's all the pressure and so forth of like the blood vessels popping and so forth outside of that.
Right. And for a laser or a focused plasma weapon, it's the heat transfer to your body that instantly cooks your organs and you die.
Free meal.
Free meal. There you go. Yeah. If you love liver, which I never got around to liking, but whatever. So that is squishy human people against mega damage. Now, mega damage can take the technological form that we spoke of earlier, or it can take the supernatural form of most demons have mega damage strength, which means they do mega damage with normal punches and kicks and rips and tears and whatnot. That means any demon with any level of mega damage strength can just rip the arms off of a human being and kill him. That's just it. So how do you fight that? Well, the Empire went to the old ways. The old body hardening exercises with magic now again based on and behind it actually hardens your body to a point where you are now a mega damage being for a period of time. And with the chi blow, you can now do mega damage with a normal strength punch because you're focusing your PPE into the actual body of your opponent, now doing mega damage. And then we move on to...
I've scrolled past a couple of them.
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk about all of them.
Specific one. There are...
The RCC is what I'd like to see eventually, but that's the last one, I think.
Which are... Oh, the Demon Queller?
No. I just scrolled down to this point. This one, I stopped on this one because it seemed I couldn't place it as another type from Rifts.
Okay. There, in the Empire, all of their OCCs are based on mysticism. Mm-hmm. All of them. In one way or another. There's the one, the warrior monk who, when they... I'm going to get to the Tengu in a second. They're actually a race kind of like flying monkeys.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. Flying monkeys.
Potential. Yeah, go ahead.
What does PPE stand for? Do you know?
It's potential power. I forget what E.
Close. Potential psionic energy.
Oh, you're right. And inner strength point. ISP is inner strength points.
Yeah, ISP is inner strength points. PPE, everyone has it. All right. It is your, I don't know, magical and personal growth potential. As a child, you have the most of it because you have, obviously, as a child, you have the most potential. Your path is not set. You could do many things. You have that potential inside you. As you grow up and you use that potential to gain knowledge and skills, your PPE naturally goes down. So most adult humans have 1d4 or 2d6 or somewhere around there. Now, if you are a wizard or a psychic or whatever, you've actually trained your body to hold PPE like a battery. So you increase the capacity of that battery as you increase your knowledge in magic. So their PPE actually grows with experience rather than shrinking. So that's PPE. Anyway, they have the mystic warrior, the Yamabushi mountain priest. This is a really cool one, page 60. This is a really cool one because they actually connect themselves with the spirits of the land. And they only get their cool special powers if they are connected to rocks of whatever size. The land, basically. All of their powers are connected to the land. If you take them away from the mountain, they are just folk. Yamabushi, is that a mountain? I don't know what Yamabushi means because
Well,
Noro
Yama
is no longer watching. What?
Yama does mean mountain. Bushi, I guess, yeah, it'd be like Bushi isn't that a priest? Yeah, so it literally means mountain priest.
Mountain priest. That's what they are. Yeah, the mountain priest. Yeah, they should have a colon after that or something. All right. All their powers are based on the size of rock that they're currently standing on or touching.
Oh no! Wait a minute. No, Bushi is warrior. Shit, I don't remember. I'll ask my wife.
Yeah, ask your wife. Mountain priest. Yeah, basically that sounds funny. Demon Queller. This is the dude. He's taught the martial arts, body hardening exercises, and demon lore in a monastery. 70% are located in China, but he is not a monk or a priest. The character can cast magic spells, yet he has little interest in pursuits of magic, except that they might apply to ridding the world of demons and all manner of supernatural horrors. So basically, he's a monster hunter.
Anti-shifter.
He only cares about magic and magical items insofar as they help him kill monsters good. He doesn't care where it comes from. He doesn't care where he got it. If it kills ghosts and demons and Oni good, I take it. That's it. So, that's his whole deal, which is fine.
Wow, okay. And letdown.
Actually, when I read Demon Queller, I kind of think of Goblin Slayer. Like the main character of Goblin Slayer doesn't care what weapons he uses or techniques he uses as long as all the goblins die.
Hence Goblin Slayer.
Yeah. So Demon Queller. Yeah. And the Tengu. These are the go to the page, go to the picture, next page.
I did once, but I'll go there again.
Flying monkey.
There it
is.
More of a bird.
Now there is a human next to him. Yes, Crafty, I did reference Goblin Slayer, but the Tengu is a racial character class, and then an offshoot of that is the OCC. Tengjutsu. This is these are humans that the Tengu have taught their own little ancient ways. All right. Bird folk, yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, they're cool and everything. It's good flavor, but it's not great. I mean, just like in Chinese lore, the Tengu are mischievous. They're not evil. They're just kind of dicks. They love practical jokes and messing with people. But they are good. Like, if they see a bully actually maliciously beating on someone, they'll stomp the bully.
Yeah, because nobody can out bully the bully.
Well, no, they don't actually hurt anyone. Their whole idea is that they're screwing with you in ways that don't really matter, so you can adjust your own personal thinking to understand what really does matter. They're just a forest guard. I don't know what she's referencing there. Is it just me?
No, the Yamabushi.
Oh, that's what it means?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna have something guard a forest, I guess a mountain would be it, right? But anyway, yeah. And then the whole tenjutsu is the art, not only of fighting but way of thinking and mystical enhancements that the Tengu can impart to a human being, to a human disciple. That's basically it.
So they're like forest or like park rangers. Yep. Okay. So hey, let's get to the tentacle people.
There is no tentacle people. I'm sorry.
Then this is not a real book in Japan.
I'm sorry. And then of course you're on the Republic of Japan now, and they have their own new OCCs. They're cyber samurai. It's on page 80.
Crazies. Stop. Crazies.
Well, of course. In the golden age of humanity, crazies and mom conversion were still a thing. So obviously they have them. And they have glitter boys.
I thought
everyone had glitter
band.
boys. The glitter force.
It's the J-pop band.
Kind of lame.
Oh,
It's kind of lame.
wow, there's a lot of them. Oh, okay, never mind. So
Yeah,
that's
these are all the
Empire.
character classes in one place, just so you got them all. Yeah, Cyber
Ninja
Samurai,
Crazy?
Cyborg Soldier, Ninja Crazy, Ninja Borg. These are technological advancements that simulate the mystic ninja because they don't use magic, so they have to simulate some of. We have super tech, so we can do that. Now, the Republic of Japan, I want you to think of Shadowrun only slightly nicer, because everyone has some kind of technological modification inside their body, the equivalent of a chip jack or a head jack or a internal clock or internal PDA, small little computer attached to your head to handle their daily schedule, stuff like that. Internal phone. That's
I can't take this picture seriously.
You can't?
No.
I get it. Yeah, it's a really bad AC/DC concert, sure.
I was thinking Village People, but you're probably closer.
Yeah. Not like Ghost in the Shell. No. Think Shadowrun, only not so in the shadow part. I mean, it's a little nicer. It still has an underbelly, of course, but Shadowrun only a nicer world. And no magic. Think of it. Well, I guess then Cyberpunk, but way nicer than Cyberpunk. And that is basically it.
Any cool what do you call them?
All of the technology and magical items stuff here listed here are equivalents to other books.
Okay.
Just with the Japanese flair.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, where'd it go? Crap. I lost it. Oh, there you go. Mecha robot.
And of course, you go to page 139, you get a Glitter Boy variant.
Oh, God. No.
If you go to page 137 and on, you get Samurai variants. And of course, the Republic has copied a whole lot of what they see in the new nature. So if you go to page 153, you get the Tazu Tengu power armor.
That's almost tentacles. Not quite. Oh, what'd he kill? Oh, he killed the dragon.
Most dragons are bad. But yeah, I mean, the whole...
is this a grenade launcher on his shoulders, or is he just walking around with the spikes chopped off?
No, those are... what do you call them? Cannons, basically.
Oh, okay. Anti-aircraft, because they only point up?
Well, no, they're for shooting long distance. You have to do an arc. So it shoots up and over to hit, dozens of miles away. Yep.
I got to tell you,
all of this is normal stuff. I mean, normal mech stuff. Nothing super special, except for the stylistic choices.
Yeah. I got to tell you, this didn't impress me as much as I had hoped it was going to.
Well, come on. This is mid-90s riffs.
No. Mech. What I mean is I put this in the same vein as a New West.
Yeah. It's in the same time period.
Yeah, I was hoping, I don't know. Some of the other source books, I don't want to say they wow me, like, oh my God, that's great. But I mean, talked about them, I was like, that's pretty damn cool.
If you go back to the Tengu, I think that's the best one.
Really?
Yeah, actually, no. Go to 179. You get the Tatsu, the dragon. Huge mech fighting an actual dragon.
Is that the thing on the cover?
At first, it was hard to determine which one was the actual dragon.
Is that the same creatures on the cover of the book?
Yeah, if you go to the Tengu, which is page 153, then you really get to see the stylized type armor that you probably more accustomed to.
It's not about the armor. It's just it's the entire thing put together. Just, I don't know.
I get it.
I don't see this as a book that I need to run out and get.
No, in the not for the art. No, in the early to mid 90s, the art in Palladium was not strong. I admit, not strong at all. But the actual story of Japan, how it survived, and what happened when the Republic of Japan popped back into existence, that's a really good story that a lot of people will want to play in. Japan is by far the best world book. Well, that is your opinion, and it's not. It's good. I agree. It's good. Best. I'm gonna have to shy away from that. I'm gonna have to step back on that one. But it's definitely good. It is definitely good. But yeah, that is the gist of Rift's World Book Japan, World Book 8. Does anyone have any specific questions or want to see anything more in depth?
But you were saying that Palladium had a fan art picture of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I don't know about that.
Oh, that was the page you saw. That was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla,
okay.
basically. Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting out of the book. Maybe that's part of the deal. Maybe I shouldn't have expected anything. I don't know. I thought the World Tree or the Millennium Tree was. It's an interesting story. You know, like most Palladium stuff, really, really good background. Can't say it all interests me.
I get it.
It's over there.
You know, Rift's Africa brings about the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse storyline, which is very involved, and those guys are no joke. You do not want them meeting up and having a party. You don't want that. It was more interesting. Oh, that's some high praise right there.
So here's a question for you.
Is there equivalent to Rin Yamaoka, the spirit from DBD? Okay, a lot of anime has a Rin in it. I'm sorry, man. It's like Joe. Dead by Daylight. Oh, okay. A demon equivalent. I think there is. See if I can.
I still have the book. It's not showing, but I still have the book up. Well, it'd be under Oni, wouldn't it?
Yep. Crap. Quick find is not quicking me.
Yeah, my PDF crashed.
Wow.
Apparently it didn't like me going back to page 1. There we go. Jeez. Robots. Oni Mystic, Oni Master, Oni RCC. Tables for Oni Creation.
What page?
So it's 200. 200. Get that up.
Monsters of Japan. Let's find something. And no, nothing really analogous. Afraid not. I mean, you can look through it. I mean, he's flipping through it for you, and you can see something that maybe you see could be. You put samurai armor on him, and yeah, I could see that.
Kappa. Adapted from Risk Conversion Book 1. All right, so. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's a Drider.
Oh, first Nima Lesat. Okay, Frist. Okay, I'm gonna scale Frist. Why isn't it RPG Die Gest as in joke instead of digest? Well, I don't think it's a joke. Wait.
So well, no. Well, if you no. Why isn't it digest? Because GEST actually means something. So it's RPG, die for dice, and then GEST actually means, and Heathen Dog came up with that one. I want to say accidentally, but there's no proof of that.
Benefit of doubt.
It's an old word that you can actually look up. And for anybody else who's like, WTF are they talking about?
Yeah, me,
So,
I will give him credit that yes, he's right. I didn't do the jest thing just for the jest, but digest is a small book summarizing all the information you need type thing. And I just replaced that with die, kind of like Beatles replaced some of the word, and there you go, you got Beatles now. It was basically that. Because I used to read the old Reader's Digests when I was a kid. Yeah, see, Saber got it. You got it right there.
I wanted to have DIE like as in dice. And then we were kind of shooting names back and forth and just came out digest. And I was like, ugh. But then when I found that jest actually meant something like that makes sense. It's like it was an old story, like an old story or something like that, or old adventure, romance adventure, or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember. It's like, well, guess what? It kind of fits.
So that's
all right. Any final comments from anybody regarding Rift's World Book 8 Japan?